How's it going tonight?
Going pretty good.
Say and spell your first and last name and your title, please.
Okay, first name is Alexander, common spelling, and last name is Vinogradov. It's Vinogradov, and I'm a homicide detective with Houston Police Department.
Can you tell us what happened here tonight?
So at approximately 2 a.m. this morning, our officers were dispatched to this address out here on Ward Street, and apparently from my understanding from the officers is that a witness had called HPD because there was an Asian male that was found shot on the ground. Upon arrival, the officers were able to get a quick statement from the male. He notified them that he was an Uber driver or a Lyft driver, and that two black males ran up on him, shot him several times, and pulled him out of his vehicle and took his car. His car was recovered approximately 8 blocks from here at Goforth and Dreyfus. It was a black Hyundai Sonata. Unfortunately, the male was transported to the hospital to Bentab, where he was pronounced deceased. From my understanding right now from talking to the officers is that this is not the first incident of an Uber or Lyft driver being carjacked in this area, and they're saying that there were several within the last month, drivers that have been carjacked. Fortunately, they lived, but not our individual today. So.
Do you know who you're looking for? Any description of the suspects whatsoever?
All that he was able to provide was that it was 2 black suspects. and that's it. 2 black males that pulled him out of the vehicle.
Do you know if the suspects are the same in previous cases as well, or is that too early to tell?
It's a little early to tell. We're still figuring out the details. However, the MO of the suspects is the same. They're running up, they're making calls out to this location, to this, not this particular street, but in this general area and vicinity, and they're running up on these Uber and Lyft drivers and carjacking them.
Do we know if they said anything to him, or did they just immediately open fire as soon as he arrived?
We don't know if they said anything to him. He was only able to provide a brief statement. He was shot several times, unfortunately, so there was limited information that he could provide.
And was this an Uber driver or Lyft driver?
We're still trying to figure out. The initial information we got was he was an Uber driver, but from what my partner's telling me is that he believes he's a Lyft driver. So we're going to be working closely with both companies to figure out which one he worked for.
Besides taking the car, did they take anything else?
His cell phone, we were able to recover his cell phone here as well as his wallet. So I don't know what else they could have taken from him besides his vehicle.
I mean, these guys are on the run now. What do you tell the neighborhood here who have experienced not only this now fatal carjacking, but just carjackings in the past?
It's unfortunate. We need to put an end to it as soon as we can. If there are people in this area that have surveillance cameras, they can check their cameras to see if they saw a black Hyundai Sonata this morning between 2 and 3 a.m. driving around. We're still going to go out to where the car was dumped and see if we can get video from there to maybe get a better description of these guys, so that way we can get them out of the streets, because this needs to stop. Apparently it's been happening for several months, and it's got to stop. Yeah.
Do you know how many in total have happened in this neighborhood?
I don't know in this particular neighborhood, but from what the officers are telling me, the officers on scene here have worked another carjacking. So the officers here say the MO fits what they worked just recently. So.
And what do you say to people in this neighborhood who are probably afraid, since these suspects are still on the loose and this keeps happening?
I mean, we're going to try to do our best to get these guys out of the street. Be very aware of your surroundings for especially these Lyft and Uber drivers. I mean, I'll be very wary of where you're going and who you're picking up, and just be extremely aware of your surroundings. As you can see behind me, there's a dark field, and I wouldn't be surprised if the suspects actually came out of that dark field. So.
How old was the victim?
He was an Asian male in his late 20s.
And was his wallet and cell phone found like near the car or inside the car?
So they were found here on scene on the ground, so I'm assuming he probably had both on him.
Was he picking up somebody in this neighborhood? By chance, do you think maybe the suspects had called the Uber or the Lyft driver to maybe set him up? Or
we're still trying to figure that out. We have his cell phone. We're going to hopefully get the data off the cell phone to see. We're going to work with the companies to see if there was a call. My assumption is that he probably was called out here. I don't see what he would be doing out in the middle of this dark street in the middle of the night.
He didn't live out here.
He did not live out here.
And so is there going to be more of a bigger police presence out here since this has been ongoing?
That's above my pay grade.
What do you make of the fact that they only went 8 blocks with this car?
They were trying to get away, is my assumption. The car was found on a dead-end street, and it looks like they took the wrong street down, and they dumped the car as soon as they could. So.
What kind of car was it?
It's a black Hyundai Sonata.
Did they take anything out of the car? Was anything like stripped out of the car?
I don't know yet because I haven't been there yet. We'll figure that out once we get to the vehicle.
What was that intersection again?
Dreyfus and Goforth.
So where all are you guys going to be searching and looking? Have you gotten any other clues as to where these suspects might be?
Well, so we just got out here. It's a little early for us. So we're checking the surveillance cameras on these houses to see if maybe some video was recorded on them, and we're going to check the video around the area. Obviously, if there are people with cameras in this area, they can check them to see if any little tip will help us. They can call the Homicide Division or Crime Stoppers.
What's the name of this neighborhood?
I don't know. I just got out here.
A lot of Uber drivers, Lyft drivers have cameras in their car. Do you think that he had one? And if so,
that's something that we're going to check for. I hope he does, and maybe we'll be able to get more information from that camera. It's still early on, so we'll update y'all as soon as we can with any information that we can find. We obviously want to get these guys caught and off the street.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
you.